Pledge allegiance to the flag.
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready? Okay, I need approval of the minutes from December 18th.
I'll move.
Sorry, November 18th.
Support.
Favor?
Aye.
All right, public comments?
This whole thing prepared where I was gonna talk to you guys tonight and explain the importance of the CAP program and what was happening. But I think I'll just speak from the heart. These cats that were part of your program, you know who they are, you know where they're at. They're at the mills. They've been booted out of where they lived for the last 4 years. They had shelter, they had food, they had water. My uncle told me to talk to you guys like I know you. Treat them like you've known them forever. Okay? And the truth is, he's the one that helped me fix these animals and got me involved in this. And today I come in front of you and I ask you to help these animals and let me place. I've had people that want to help and place a shelter, but it would have to be on city property. And I'm really, truly asking you to please let me do this without being arrested, threatened, intimidated, or harassed. My Uncle John would want that. He passed away today, and I'm in front of you asking in his name to let me do this. Please. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, agenda. Any additions to the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We have a correspondence. We have our DTE Public Service Commission, or Comcast, upping the prices again. Lexington Township, their 5-year park plan for public review, and our DDA minutes. Motion to receive and file.
I'll move.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Administrator's report.
A few things here. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Swinging Bridge, sign is done. If anybody's noticed that, it was done before the parade, which was nice. Parade went off without any noticeable hitches. We learned a few lessons. We're trying to get better every year with traffic control. I think this year worked a lot better. Seemed like the crowds moved well, and we didn't have as many vehicles in spots we weren't supposed to. So we'll get a little bit better next year with some more barricading, but everybody, a lot of positive feedback from that. The bike path is completed. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. Yeah, Davis has its base cap on, so we're super excited that that got done before the winter, the cold stoppage. So we'll have a nice, at least it'll be rough, but it's a paved surface for the winter. Wastewater treatment progress is going well. We're working on basically the outlying lift stations now. We're done on Flower Street. If you've noticed, they've moved out to Lakeview Hills. We've got some big tanks out there for transfer while we're working on it. So if you notice those out there, that's what's going on. And Mr. Bickle did accept a job offer for the ordinance enforcement officer. He's going to be starting Monday, December 9th. That's all I have.
For the ordinance officer, are we providing him a vehicle?
No, we've discussed potential mileage. He said he's comfortable using his own car and he doesn't think.
Are we going to have it marked with anything so people know?
We're going to get him some, we're going to get him a decal and we're going to get him a uniform of some sort, something identifying him. The police chief is handling.
Does he do that with the other municipalities he works with? Has it marked?
He has he said, I just have like a polo shirt. He hasn't done anything in the winter yet. So we're gonna make sure he has a jacket with, Croswell ordinance enforcement on the back and a logo or something. So, yeah, we'll definitely make sure we identify him.
we do with the newsletter and the site, like we've done for new employees,
Mhm.
sometimes put his
Yes.
picture out there and
Yes.
let everybody know who he is.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Council members report, the parade, I mean, the fireworks, the parade, I was up there again, and that, I mean, that is draws more people to town than any other homecoming, any other downtown event we have. It's just awesome to see the amount of people. Thank Pat and Karen for all their hard work. I know they put in a ton of
Yeah.
work. All the volunteers, all the city workers. You know, I see the police were out putting signs up for no parking early on Sunday or Saturday morning. Just, it's awesome to see all the people downtown and just, it's a awesome fireworks. I mean, the company puts on one heck of a show and every year it just gets better and it keeps growing and I just like to thank all the volunteers and workers that put the effort in it. It really shows. And, you know, the people who put all their vehicles in the parade and did, you know, the farmers and, you know, they were handing out milk, handing out pickles. I mean, they were just representing our community. And I'd like to thank everybody for it. So,
Pass that on. Thank you.
all right, Denise.
Same about the parade, the cleaners, the city workers and everybody that helped participate in it. I like the blight officer starting. Do you know when we're going to put up the ice rink? Or is it up? I haven't been that way.
I'm sorry.
The ice rink, is it?
We had to order some new plastic, so I'll check and see where we're at on that. The plastic got damaged, the lining.
Okay,
So we're in the process of getting some new plastic, but, it should be soon. It's always been weather dependent and we're starting to see the weather for it.
right.
Yep.
And then
Follow up.
I've heard complaints at the end of Ward where it's on Croswell Road. Will that be taken care of in the spring when we redo it I mean, it's quite the hump when you're going over.
The ward crossing.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We tried to have them lengthen it out a little bit to reduce. That hump was always there a little bit, but yeah, it's not awesome, but we'll definitely fix it in the
the
spring.
spring.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, I noticed there's still some vehicles that have been parked now a month on the street. Our snow ordinance is in effect. And we still have some cars that are parked
Yep.
overnight on the street. It's more, they've had a month time to
Yep.
take care of that. I think that's it
All right,
right now. Thanks.
thank you. Don? All
Nothing.
right, thank you. Sal?
Just one thing that I noticed, again, also on the parade, I think, I was there and I walked around and stuff, looked around and stuff, and it was well done, well put together. But the only thing that night that I noticed, and it was where the stage was put up, I noticed the guardrail, a lot of people, and it's all loose,
Yeah.
quite a distance, and a lot of people were sitting in there and the thing just kind of came down there.
You're talking the edge guardrail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Scott working some pricing together for me to
Okay,
repair.
and yes, I was there and I was concerned
We know
about
that's-
the people that try to sit, couple kids kind of
Yeah, we know that's in.
get back a little bit and I thought I would bring it up.
That maybe about 3 weeks ago to get
Okay.
some pricing for
All right,
repairs. Okay?
all right, thank you.
Randy?
No, I'm good.
All right, thank you. No unfinished business, new business, dog attack. Nwicky? Sorry.
Like this, the animal, tonight. I appreciate you and, this was a bit of an ordeal. And I didn't feel like it got handled to my satisfaction, so I'm bringing it to you. On November 13th, I took my two small harness leash dogs for a walk on my street. I live on Gage Street. And I was heading towards Croswell Road. So when you get into that final block, it's a long street, there were no sidewalks in front of those residents. So I was in the street. Walking my dogs, I said they're leashed, they're harnessed, they're under control. 3 pit bulls and another dog approached me. Came out of 146 Gage Street as I walked by. We're charged and surrounded. And all I could do, they started lunging for my smaller dog. It's about 12 pounds. So my Boston Terrier, comes to the rescue, tries to protect him. I'm just beating these dogs off with my fist. And my dog sustained an injury to his ear and an abrasion to his chin as well. I've got pictures, I've got police report, contacted animal control. So in the middle of this, people come out of that house. They do take the dogs. I call Eric, Officer Warnlinger, see if he's on duty. He's not. He advises me to call the police department, which I do. It's 4:26 in the afternoon, no answer. I realize, the police department's busy place. So I get a recorded message, tells me to do one of two things. If it's an emergency, call this number. If it's not, call Central Dispatch. So I call Central Dispatch. Central Dispatch transfers me to Animal Control. So I felt, as I explain this, it'll be brief. I didn't feel that Animal Control really pursued the matter. Didn't call back. So the following week, I filed a police report. So that was on November 20th. So as I said, I'm here this evening because I'm not satisfied with the manner in which this situation was handled. Animal Control stated that they would, that they do follow up with complaints, but said that due to privacy laws, they weren't able to provide a copy of any complaint for me to bring today. When I filed the police report on November 20th, when I walk in, Officer Overstreet acknowledged that the police had knowledge of the dog problem at 146 Gage Street and says that Officer Brenda had told them that it was only a matter of time before there was going to be an incident. She had told them that just after there was a family that moved in to 146 Gage Street to I don't know if I'm to use names, but they were evicted. I find this out through Officer Overstreet. He's telling me all of this. And that they had crossed the road onto Officer Brenda's property. So she's like, I don't know how he knew this. He knew this before. Obviously, I didn't know this. He's telling you this. Officer Overstreet also said that the homeowner was clearly in violation of the ordinance and owned several dogs. He could see through the window. This was after he went to the residence to talk with them. They wouldn't answer the phone. It's in the police report. Wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't call back, that type of thing. So fast forward another week. On November 27th, I get a call from Chief Buckmaster. He phones me. He explains that the homeowner told them that there were 13 dogs living in the residence at the date of the attack. He said, I had to listen back to that audio footage that was on officer 3 times. Is that really what I heard? He said, because that place is quite small for 13 dogs to be in that residence. So do I think Animal Control went there? He said that the homeowner wouldn't divulge where the dog owner was living. That I should be grateful no serious harm had been done, and that I would spend more on small claims court than the cost that I would incurred on the vet. I guess the inverse is also true. If I had been seriously injured, one of my dogs had been seriously injured or killed, there would be a rat right now on the city. Police had knowledge of this. So if we go to the ordinance, start looking at chapter 90 of animals. 90.01, an owner is a person who keeps or harbors the animal or has it in his or her care, or any person permits any domestic animal to remain about any premises owned or occupied by him for a period of 5 days. 5 days. A vicious animal, if we're just doing a quick definition, any animal which has caused a bite to a person or domestic animal without provocation, or which by its actions gives indication that it's likely to bite any person or domestic animal without provocation. they came out in the street. My dogs were harnessed, leashed, under control. Just trying to take a walk down my street. 90.05 of the ordinance, prohibited activity, Part A, no person shall own, harbor, or keep any animal licensed or unlicensed with permission. 90.08, maximum number of dogs shall be unlawful to keep more than 2 dogs licensed or unlicensed that are over 6 months old at any residence within the city, unless the owner possesses a kennel license as approved by the planning commission. And the penalty is the final aspect of the ordinance. Any persons violating the terms of this chapter shall be subject to a fine not exceeding $100 or the cost of prosecution or both fine and cost. So I guess in this police report, like I said, I stated the information. Just wanted to draw your attention to a couple of new things. Tammy stated she had to take her dog to the vet and her dog did sustain injury. She does have a copy of the vet bill, just scanned into the report, also pictures of the injury, talking around here. Okay, so this is Officer Overstreet, went to the residence 146 Gate Street, attempted to contact the owners of the home, no one answered, but he did notice that there were 3 dogs in the home and the one outside in the backyard. Contact will be attempted again at a later time. Also, a citation will be issued for the amount. Attempted to contact again, so that was on the 3rd, I reported on the 20th. So then on the 21st, he went back over, attempted and called the listed homeowner. No call back. On the 22nd, attempted contact again at the residence. A warning was left on the door of the incident that occurred, and also for the amount of dogs that are in the household. So from what I'm gathering, this is just a warning. Follow up on the 27th, Chief Buckmaster, he spoke with the person and advised that the dogs be moved after she made contact with these people. She did confirm that he brought over 3 full-size pit bull mixed dogs as well as 7 smaller dogs, and asked her to watch the house, watch them and house them until she could find another place to live. Was currently trying to find a place in Port Huron. So it also says that the owner is not divulging where these people are living now, so the police can't follow up. And yeah, just what I told you about 13 dogs were living there in the residence. So that was on the 13th. So now she said that they left between the 24th and the 25th. So that's 13, 24, 25th, 20 days. So that's 10 days after. I guess my point is, this whole thing could have been avoided. Thank God. I mean, true. I mean, my dogs could have been killed. I could have been killed theoretically. I just think it's a very serious situation. And I just wanted to close by saying that as your middle school counselor this year, and as one of your high school counselors for the past 24 years, I also took it off to serve and protect residents and students. If I had knowledge of an issue that could potentially harm our families and ultimately cause serious injury or loss of life, I could lose my counseling certificate, my certification. I could lose my job. I could be sued and could potentially be responsible for any damages that were incurred as a result. I said this whole thing could have been avoided, at least at active, when former Officer Brenda alerted them. I would like to see pictures, that they'll. I mean, so I want this on record, so everybody's alerted. If those people return back to her residence, something happens. a coworker whose fourth grade daughter was walking her dog this very same night.
So at this point, the dogs are gone, is that what
Dogs are
we're,
gone.
we understand that? So the
Yeah.
dogs are gone.
Yeah. And, I'll follow up with the police chief, and I want to make contact with animal control too, to see what a normal response is. Because they're with the county, not with the city. Yeah. So,
She said, I'm not, and she said, any complaint that's filed is looked into. I just.
Yeah.
Guess a person has a choice not to answer the door, but.
I mean, dogs are there now.
Well, according to officer, yeah, 3, he said she never answered the door. Was placed on her door. I mean, this is also, excuse me, that blight runs rampant at the end of our street and it's her home.
Yeah, hopefully with this new enforcement officer, we'll
start addressing
those issues. It's been a thing that we've been working on for years now, the blight. So we're trying to make steps to take care of that. I see the Healy's is back doing their thing again.
Yep.
So, you know,
I think
I'm glad, you know, I was attacked, my wife and I were, by some pit bulls on Well Street there, Well Street. We were walking on the sidewalk, and they come out of the house, and luckily we weren't bit, but you know, that's a scary deal. I could fully understand with, especially a small dog. So, thank you for your letting us know, and then hopefully with this new officer, and now that we're aware and these people are gone, hopefully this won't ever happen again. So,
And can I add a little bit of a comment on that too, as residents, you know, we all like to go for a walk, you know, we all like to feel that we're safe on the streets. Again, we need to listen to our residents as we sit here and those are the things that we try to avoid. And we hope that from this, that we can, you know, from this point on, that we can go and say, okay, you know, when somebody comes up to if it's the police or any of us, that we take these issues very seriously. And you know, and I go back, and then I had the same experience. I go back quite a few years. When I was running, I was attacked by a German Shepherd. And, you know, I came to a city council and I said, hey, listen, you know, and they took care of it. But the only thing that I didn't like at the time, they says, well, you know, take a different route. And I told them, I'm not taking a different route for anybody else.
right.
Anybody else. So, you know, the bottom line on this is that there's a lot of people in Croswell that like to go for a walk. We still do it now during the winter, and we just want to feel protected. And, you know, and Croswell, you know, it's done good you know, on certain, you know, most of this stuff. So we just want to feel safe.
Couple of answerables. First one, Dave, is how many other examples of this is the force aware of, that residents have more than 2 dogs? And if so, what can we do about getting rid of the other dogs? Because I read the ordinance and there's no, here's how to get rid of the other dogs. It just says you can't. So
I think the ticket and the fine is hopefully incentive to get rid of. I guess you could keep ticketing.
well, we've been ticketing people for a lot of their things and it still happens.
Yeah.
So we can figure that one out, because I want to know how many other families have more than 2 dogs, excuse me, that we know about, and what have we done about it? The other one is, do we not have enough officers to where we can have our own personnel 24/7 on duty, or are we still counting on the county to cover down on some of the hours?
it's very, very rare that we don't have 24-hour coverage. I mean, there are spots, and then based on, because we now have Karen on board, and Eric is back from field training from the school officer.
All right, well, that's the big one. How many of the other families do the police know about? What are we doing about it?
Okay.
All right. All right, thank you again. Next item is, item B is our council pay. Need a
Unless anybody won't be here on December 16th, we can approve as presented.
Anybody gonna be absent on 16th that you know
Be here.
of? All right. Need a motion to approve?
Oh, my.
Second.
All in favor?
I've-
Carried. Item C is our DDA appointment. Chuck, or, yeah.
Yeah, so Adams, Texaco is being, purchased by, a group originally from the area, brothers. Joe Carey has, is gonna be the new owner as of January 1st. Mr. Adams is asking that he, have a resignation accepted from DDA because he won't be a business owner anymore. And Joe Carey has, expressed an interest in being appointed. It was approved at, the last Downtown Development Authority meeting, and so we need council approval.
Now, is this just for the remainder of his time and then he'll
It's still
reapply?
December 28th
Yep,
in the council packet. 4-year term.
it won't be remaining time. He'll start a new 4-year term, so it'll be through December of 2028.
Make a motion to approve Joe Carey to take over for Chuck Adams on the DDA.
All right, all in favor?
Uh,
All right, motion carried. Next item is, public comments again.
After listening to her story and hearing about what is big, I think council should probably be a little concerned on how officers pick and choose who they're gonna seek warrants for and who they're not. To think that they would issue somebody a warrant, seek a warrant for someone who's taking pictures and feeding cats, but won't for somebody who gets attacked. I don't understand quite how the police department operates, if their job is to enforce ordinances, how they pick and choose. I think it would be something that council should be concerned about.
Thank you. All right, next item is, accounts payable. We have a total of 918,758.22.
Move.
Andy?
All in favor?
uh,
All right, motion carried. No more items. We do stand adjourned. Thank you.